As manager of Stoke City, I set myself the lofty aim. Take this team struggling against relegation to potentially going for promotion. And now we work with our old assistant. Danny Rose is back in town. Or should I say City? As can we get this City to the Premier League? You don't know how much fun I'm having, people, but yes, welcome back to the Stoke City rebuild as it stands, because it's the Journeyman. This is the team that we've built so far, but we're still trying to get Stoke up to the Prem. We've signed really good Prem quality players, Patterson, Webster and Areola. Devaney as well. We've got the captain Aronson. He was here before we got here. Don't ask how I got him, because I didn't. And Felipe Tezera, our Brazilian, who I am so excited to keep on balling out. But this dream of Premier League status, it's not there yet. We sit 9th, and I do set myself in my mind the objective: we don't move clubs until we actually win something. And at the moment, that could only be the playoffs. We do have in January the Emirates FA Cup, and January itself. It is signing time, and to see where we need to sign, I'm going to speak to my assistant, Danny Rose. We come in as a pair at the moment. Danny, what do you think we should do with the Stoke team? You've walked in with a clear head. Do you see any position from outside looking in that really needs sharpening up? Okay, and he says yes. He says he doesn't like the look of the left back. He's been dodgy in a few games, which I can definitely agree with, and he would replace him. The only issue is he's the striking coach. But then again, on strikers, Tezera, Tezgel, Lowe and Cisse with young Allen, is that too many? Could you cash in? That is a decision we have to make. We've got 1 million to our name. 27 players, a lot of strikers, still someone out on loan at Barrow we both just came from. But if we had to sell one of these, who is it that we get out? I mean, Tezgel hasn't played much. Cisse is adaptable. And as for top scorers in the league, we really don't have one anyway. Nathan Lowe is our top scorer with only 7 in 23 goddamn appearances. And I guess starting the episode with January just starting was a bad idea, because we're going to play some games. We're going to get January ticking before we do something in it. Can't just be jumping in willy-nilly. Stamanic, Vopotnik, Jean-Jacques. This is going to be a difficult and feisty affair, especially if we aren't careful with the firepower they've got up front, or the talk on strikers, even though we don't need one. That cannot be a foul. That was never a free kick. Areola's got to stand strong here. We want the good home record. Oh, they've sent me, but we still got the wall jumping. We can't suffer many defeats as well to teams, no offence to Swansea, but are mid-table ones. We're under the cosh. Bocat, he has to block it. Ball whipped in, header by Ben Cabango. Not what we want to see, but here goes Kurda to Cisse. It's weird having both of them in the team. It was supposed to be one or the other. Teresa! He's not going to be the striker we actually go and sell. Or Teresa, the number 11, finishes under the goalkeeper. Cisse with the perfect ball, and the goalkeeper, Vigouroux, let himself down. What a finish, by the way. Kurda doesn't get the ball forward straight away. Sassy steps in. We've got to get this second half ticking like the first one. Stamanic down the line. Inusa, we've just got to block off this cross he could potentially put in. And we do, but it's going to lead to a corner. It's the first time, I'm openly showing you as well, we've been dominated despite having the lead. We've started to lose a few games. We're not at league, well, National League level anymore. Referees give a penalty away. The dominance might not stand. Areola trying to send Vopotnik, but Vopotnik sends him. This is where we test the strikers. Cisse off. Can we cope without him? Let's hope so, shall we? Patterson. He can play either left back and right back as well, so we could potentially make a right back signing if we don't find a left back, but left back's got to be the first choice. If we do make some currency, we've got another player that used to play for us who can play both as well. But I'm thinking of signings whilst we're in a battle here. A battle with the Swans. Pesky little buggers, aren't they? As Felipe Tezera, he finds the centre-back / right winger Kurda into Justin Devaney. He's not had a smooth sail in a Stoke shirt, nor have we in terms of consistency. We got turned, and Jan Vopotnik does find Ronald. Jean-Jacques, he's around us, he could get the shot in. He goes for the sweaty goal, and it's Jan Vopotnik who has crushed our hopes and dreams. And that could potentially be us done. And after that game, which we had our moments in, interest is coming in for our strikers. Oh my god. That's the worst timing. Obviously, we want to sell some, but now we joint on points with Swansea. Don't make Stoke a mid-table team. They fell off in real life in the second half of the season. We don't want that happening again. We're into the 4th round of the Emirates FA Cup. And here are the bids. Okay, I said I was never going to stop players' careers. I am not accepting swap deals. We've got a bid in for Tariq Ibn Fayan from the Saudi Arabian League. He could go back to Asia, but I don't think he would want to. I think he'd stick the season out. Olympiacos and Brentford for Lamine Cisse. Now, obviously, one team in Europe, one team in the Prem, one team that continues not to win due to not having a decent left-back. And there he goes. Why has my face gone again? I need to get my face back in this game. But Lamine Cisse picks Brentford. I didn't want to ask for any more money. 6 million's good enough for me. It should take our budget up. However, the player that I did bench, and our top scorer, Nathan Lowe, saying he's going to step up. The only issue is it's two similar built strikers, not really pacey, decent physical balancing it out, but both 23, both quite young. On the bench, we've now got Tezgel as the backup. He's going to have to step up. For Wumney, don't have a backup cam or centre mid in terms of our shape, and we don't have a backup left back, so Bokat's going to go to our bench, and we are going to spend this money before we slip any further. And with Aronson, we talked on making Premier League signings to help him out. What if we help him out in another way? He's American, and this man really intrigues me. Now, like I said in the last video, we don't really have to focus on the age of players because we can jump clubs at any moment. This man's old, he still has pace and a release clause, which is less than his market evaluation. 5-star weak foot, so like Patterson, could potentially go onto the right-hand side. Daejuan Jones. He joins the American. That does have a bit of potential. I've picked one of these just off my bias. He's from the Mariners, Hayne Eames. But judging how I do think I've butchered his name, Leandre Quaivita, I've probably butchered that one as well. I am going to sign here to join me up at Stoke City to hopefully try and get us promoted. We needed a backup to Devaney, and that is 2 needed players in. When we're going for promotion as well, yes, we are off the back of a defeat. But look at that back line. And straight back into the frying pan. Here we go. Carrick in charge of Leeds. His first game apparently at Ellen Road here in the Championship, where he did have a bit of a stint in charge of Borough. But let's get this show back on the road, which we need to do a bit of a tired team. Manzambi in the Leeds 11. Wins against teams like this offer momentum. And that's what we need, judging by what we are up against. Harrison running into a little bit of a back alley. Good tackle by Jones. There we go. Dejuan Jones has arrived. Would Bocat have actually blocked that? I'm unsure, and Devaney has to improve performances, or I'm a manager lenient enough to actually put the other good guy in the team, as Devaney, look out wide right there, finally getting his passes right into Kurda. The defensive thinking right mid, now fully in the team ahead of Cisse. Rigo around the corner. There is our little Brazilian dancer, trying to beat the other Brazilian in Perry in between the sticks. He's trying to get the header on the ball as well. These set pieces I always crave, they've been kind of useless. Matteo Joseph, Ramanzani, Manzabi. It's hard to keep the names of the players remembered. Our players taking our goalkeeper out, and Harrison missed. That must be the worst moment I've ever had in playing FC. And against Leeds United, that won't be the worst thing in the world, actually getting a draw right here. But yeah, if we're going to get promotion, we have to beat teams like this week in, week out. In the Premiership, Patterson is waiting for the run of Kurda just to improve a little bit. Now Longstaff, look at the scrapping. Patterson wins the ball back in the middle. Lovely little bit of a run, and Lowe with the header. It was waiting. It was weighted. Perfect. Looks like we're settling for a draw right here. Patterson makes the tackle. That's a bad one from Ramanzani. But Kurda can make a last attack. He's down this right-hand side. I knew I'd orchestrated it before it happened, but Isaac Schmidt just easily robs the ball. A disappointing performance, I would say, but after a few simulations, we're chasing them. We're chasing them playoffs. We're so close. Then again, we've played more games than everybody else because we do have a Premier League team in the Cup. And yes, in the last episode, the fans said they wanted a cup run. As you can see online, they were demanding it. But I've got to go against them. Not something I like to do as a manager, but the league is more important. Would we have stood a chance when Phil Foden plays for Aston Villa? Who, by the way, in real life are talking about selling Ollie Watkins to Fenerbahce. And we have advanced towards April here, one of the final months. Sitting 7th. A game less, or yes, it's a game in hand over Sheffield United. With Burnley to play, who are down in 11th. Could we take the Burnley job? I don't know. It's when we snap back into managerial jobs, going to take the old ones off the shortlist. There's 2 available, then 2 that are in risk who are big clubs for the level we're at. But we are ahead of Burnley, just behind Sheffield. Leaving Toulouse, which is in League One. Yes, I'm now looking abroad as a potential one we can apply for. He's resigning. That will be end of the season. Then Athletic Club with Thomas Carvajal. Do we either take a Premier League potential promotion push or Athletic Club? They are a club that don't sign players. That's my only irk. And if we are to try and dethrone Barcelona, Real Madrid, without signing a player, that could be a monumental task, but a task to get us recognised. If we wanted to take it, Josh Laurent, he's just cutting inside and outside. Brun Larsen, tackle him, please. Hartman gets the ball. That's a speed run round. We are a bit at 6s and 7s at the moment. Brilliant save by Alphonse Areola. Stops Hannibal getting the shot off. And set pieces against me always seem good. Brun Larsen flicks it around the corner. Sambo! We're starting to get dominated in-game, which was never the case at one point. Brendan Aronson is the captain. The highest rated player by far. I'm yet to see something special from him. But then again, this could turn into a beautiful assist. Zip it, Max. Zip it. We're trying to prove ourselves to other clubs, and we have just put ourselves into the lead and into the playoffs, which is massive, and it could be even less time here at Stoke than it was at Barrow, after saying Stoke is the team I wanted to take over for the long-term aspirations. It might not happen. Hannibal trying to stop him from getting the run on. Anthony Gordon crab-like defending from the Azteca game. And that's kind of a niche reference. If you are not watching this video when it's just come out, England 3, Mexico 2. In the World Cup, I have just watched Tachua, Antoine Dooney, Joe Cullen, Laurent. He's got around us. Larsen made a beautiful run. It goes to Zaki Amdouni. Pulled the trigger and was off target. As our next game up is Watford in this congested fixture list. Big header away from one of our signings. Webster, that's another thing. I think with signings, we've been really good, and that could potentially affect us going into our next job. Not being able to sign players. We're all trying to block here. Every 3 points is now crucial, especially fighting to getting to the playoffs. Burnley struggling this season. And I told you, the Bet365 has to be a fortress. Chinua into Hannibal. We've missed the slide. It's gone through. Big save, Alphonse Areola. Look at them celebrations. We have to keep this out. We have to do. It's a header. It's Aronson to blast it. And we should be winning this grudge match. Just look at that tackle from Lawal. We now have a team sitting in the playoffs and could potentially take them to the Prem. Do I want to give up on this? It all depends on what the job offer says. And in all honesty, I can't help myself. I've gone and found another job available. It is Paris FC. And they are over in League One. Liam Rosini has just got them IRL. But this is an offer from Athletic Club. Oh, man. You see, the potential to not sign players is putting me off. I don't know what to do here. I want the Stoke fans on my side. I'm going to reject it. They sit 4th. They sit 4th in La Liga. We could have just gone into Champions League football. Could have done. But then again, next season, not signing players, I don't think we're taking a team up any more than 4th. And I'm here to improve players in this save. Look at the media getting it leaked. They're really praising me now for staying at Stoke, despite that job available. The only issue is now Paris FC. They sit 12th. They've got the huge rivalry with PSG. And they will have a budget. You see, player-wise as well, Josh Achampong, that is unreal. Noah Aseko, they are significantly better players. We can continue to improve. Chalampalos Kostulas. Jumping ship here on Stoke would be bad. And we have just lost pre-playoffs. And that is disastrous. 2 defeats. We couldn't really play another game before the playoffs would start. So I want to see if we can get in them. See if the Paris FC job can be stalled. That's if they want to take us on. We've drastically improved this club. I think the playoff dream is fading. I think Stoke City are fading. We could be the most hated manager in world football if we actually did this, is what Danny Rose tells me, and he tells me he would not be joining me ever again, and that's really harsh because Danny has been such a great assistant. As what's this? He says don't take the job or don't take the Monchengladbach job either. I thought we were fighting over just one. Oh my days, the finish 15th. We could go to the Bundesliga. We've been looking in the Prem before. We've looked in La Liga. We've looked in Ligue 1. But with Paris, Barcelona, all the big teams in these leagues, do I fancy my chances more so in the Bundesliga with Paweł Kalowski? And we've simmed on this calendar a little bit more. Towards the end of the year, which is over for us, 1 point, game in hand, fair enough to Millwall, but it's sickeningly putting us outside of the playoffs. I had so much hope for Stoke. And maybe this is a lesson to learn about signing players that are older. Maybe we always don't do that despite thinking we wouldn't be here long. Webster's down to a 72. Areola's gone down. The captain's not been truly loyal all the time. Devaney, not the greatest of signings. Filippo, Tezera has been brilliant. And we've got to stop hopping from clubs, man. We need to build a dynasty somewhere, although the aim of this entire rebuild, the Journeyman, is to win 5 trophies. And we could step up to our first division. 5 episodes deep if we go next episode. We've got Nathan Lowe with 14 goals, Devaney 13. Brendan Aronson did get a lot of assists. And now the Stoke fans are starting to dislike me, which is not very nice. I've rebuilt this club, but they don't like the way I might potentially be leaving. And all I can say to the Stoke fans is thank you for the memories. I apologise it ended like this. But the Journeyman, in less than 2 full seasons, has gone from the National League through 2 clubs, and now we arrive in the Bundesliga.